Hello, my LARPing lecherous lovers of the internet. I have some news for you today, and it's fun little drama slop, so strap in. So if you just want a quick TLDR immediately, if you just want to skip out the video and do something better, Sykkuno cheated. Sykkuno cheated on his partner of many years. He refused to end and break off the relationship. He admitted to it in a YouTube video, and I'm going to actually just show you the clip right now.
Why? Why didn't you just break off the relationship then?
Because a combination of remembering how it was, some part of me hoping it would go back to that, and
Well, obviously it's not going to go back to that if you're actively cheating on her. It's only going to get worse. I think that's really on you, bud. And I know you're smarter than that.
I'm not.
I mean, for fuck's sake, you're a 34-year-old man. Yes, you are.
Alright, so now, what is the reference of this entire thing? So, he's admitting to everything in the big Google Doc that we're going to be reading today. Because I don't want to waste your time, or if you enjoy the sultry sound of my voice, I'm going to tell you everything in the Google Doc. Sykkuno has been talking to a bunch of small content creators, mainly VTubers, and trying to get them to get in his bedroom, trying to get them to manipulate them is what he's doing. He is cheating and actively is a serial liar over and over again, just trying to get people to be in his room with him. He is using his charmish, disgustingly good looks to get all these people to talk to him when he is actively living with his girlfriend. Now, at first, I was a little bit confused by this, but he is sending money to multiple women and talking to them at the same exact time because he is unhappy in his relationship, but he refuses to break off the relationship because he's trying to salvage that relationship because he doesn't want to lose anything. This is common manipulator behavior. He is just trying to act all sweet and innocent in the entire totality of things. So now I'm going to get into the big part. If you don't want to get into the Google Doc, I'm going to give you all the evidence and sweet receipts, so let's strap in. And I would also like to point out, if you want to read the Google Doc yourself, I put the link in the top comment so you can read it along with me. On Valentine's Day of this year, I was followed on Twitter by Sykkuno. I thought it was amazing that such a big content creator even knew I existed, let alone follow me on social media. He had been my role model and someone I looked up to for a long time ever since my days in high school. However, what I learned about Sykkuno after that day would make me regret my decision. Sykkuno is not the kind, soft-spoken character you see on stream. He is a serial cheater, liar, and manipulator. So these all things are true. I want to point this out. Cheater, liar, manipulator. All true. He's a cheater, he's definitely a liar, and he's definitely a manipulator who uses his status to get where he wants to as many women as possible, more specifically ones who are smaller or up-and-coming content creators, knowing that he can take advantage of them, which is that's predatory behavior. Want to point out the girl making this, the person, and I'm not sure if they're non-binary or not, but I just want to say girl because they're femme presenting. That's what I'm discovering so far. This person, this VTuber, is 19. Now, you could say, I know what you're probably going to say, oh, 19 and 34, at least they're both adults. I'll give you know what? I'll give that to you. Still a crazy, insane age gap for a 34-year-old and a 19-year-old. That just seems, and that's just morally reprehensible in my eyes. I just feel like it's insane to do so. Just an incredibly young and impressionable person with somebody that is 34 years old. That's disgusting to me. If you think it's okay that 18-year-olds and 40-year-olds can be together, then by the eyes of the law, legally, you're 100% correct, and I can't stop you. You're 100% correct. But 34 and 19, why can't you date people your age is what I ask you. Why are you dating people that are so much younger? Anyways, after confiding in many others that they have had similar experiences with Sykkuno, I realized that this was not an isolated incident. In fact, it was something that had been going on for multiple years. He always made sure to cover his tracks and never let the paper trail significant enough for someone to make this public, but now, this has all changed. These are serious allegations, and I fully understand this should not be treated lightly. I urge all other content creators who are personally affected by Sykkuno's behavior to not remain silent, as I believe that there is strength in numbers. There are strength in numbers. It is strength in numbers to get somebody out of here. This document will not only include proof from me, but from another victim who has given her consent as well. I don't know why that sentence tripped me out so bad. Below, you will find evidence that will expose a calculated pattern of blood bottling and manipulation, as well as a voice recording of a voice call where he explicitly admits to all the wrongdoings, everything. And this is the voice call. He did admit to, I watched this. He admitted to everything. It's crazy. It's so nuts. Our first conversation. After Valentine's Day, I was so excited about him following me that I had a friend who then urged me to strike up a conversation. I finally worked up the courage to send him a DM, and he replied right away. So, Sykkuno followed her first, and then she sent a DM. Are you still looking for a Valentine's Day, perhaps? So, now, this is very important. She knew the age gap. She knew he was 34, I imagine. And Sykkuno, as a grown man, should reject the advances of the younger. I just feel that's just me. That's a personal gripe. I'm just going to keep open. So he does his usual persona. What? You can't open up with something like that. And besides, Valentine's Day is almost over where I'm from already. I mean, we do always do a Valentine's Day do-over, you know? So they're flirting. They're essentially flirting in the beginning. Invited me to play games with him. In the same conversation, he brought up what kinds of games he liked to play and invited me to play with him after a conversation. So, I can take the healing kit and occasionally heal you in it. What time is it where you're from? It's 5:48 a.m., but I have a horrible sleep schedule. It's 5:48 a.m. What? Oh my god. Big anime-esque. It's how he talks on stream. Wait, do you want to play right now if you're not tired or something? Why are you awake? Because I'm bad at sleeping, okay? I gym at night. It's okay. I'm pretty bad at sleeping too, not gonna lie. On a real note, a friend of mine dared me because I didn't know how to reach out. I'm really sorry I didn't mean to come up with LOL, you aren't weird, don't worry. And I didn't say no. I guess so. LOL, JK, JK. What games do you like to play? I'm like a massive game player. That's usually how I meet people or friends, to be honest. All right, so I want to point this out. This is just a personal thing here. I don't have any issue with the way he's texting. But I do think it's so cutesy anime boy. It's so cutesy anime boy. LOL, JK, JK. It's disgustingly millennial. If I could be so bold to say. Maybe that's what I hate about it. Maybe that's my gripe. He then goes on to explain the games that he's playing. Outlast Trials, I play it, but I'm pretty bad. Can you carry me? He's flirting with her. Basically, that's what the entire thing is doing here. And then he goes and then want a rain check. Oh, I'm sorry, I owe you one. They're talking about the game and just sponsor for some Gunner game, but I have to be there early. He's talking about his streamer deals, things of that variety. That's what he's talking about in the Google Doc. And then he showed an interest in where I live. Now, this is important. Now, this is also important. I've seen people on Twitter. I just want to do this as an aside. I've seen people on Twitter say, oh, this is strange. This is interesting. I don't see why I'm instantly disqualify you ever use the age gap language when you yourself are a grown adult. This is interesting thing. Exposing Sykkuno. It's save you the time. It's a love bombing. I can get you nothing burger. Tell your therapist instead of Twitter. This is the whole. I've seen people just kind of do this. It's not saving your time. He actively is. This is the issue I have. Right? Why are there no big repercussions for cheating? You should be lambasted for cheating. Cheating is a horrible, evil thing to do. Regular people cheat all the time. I do agree. It is horrifying. It is bad. And I think you should be known for a cheater if you are a cheater. What is known about him is that he's cheating on his girlfriend. He's a liar. He's a manipulator. He goes after drastically younger women that are up-and-coming content creators, which is, in essence, very predatory behavior because he's manipulating these women. That is very important. But all I see over Twitter is people saying, I don't know, it's not really that important. Bro, realize you didn't like the VTuber persona character thingy, and when actually it's disgusting. It's the whole thing. Sykkuno. It's crazy to me. It's crazy. They don't care that he's cheating. It's nuts. But that's just Twitter. They're just saying the most inflammatory thing. So that's what's going on. That's what it is. It's thing. Sorry and all that to you. I have a question about these. Do you believe these, or do we actually wait for both sides? What's crazy about this person right here, right, is that there is a voice recording. There's a voice recording. This is the whole thing. Now I'll give you this. I don't want to sound like I don't believe it. I've read some, but without good date fakes and AR and no response from Sykkuno, even anyone associated with them, I feel like I'm actually need to go accept when people are generally upset. And I do appreciate the skepticism behind this so far. Especially with this could obviously be a fake voice recording. Who knows? I have no idea. But I feel as though it's him. I just feel as though it's him. And it's not me saying that I hate Sykkuno in some capacity. I have no hate for the guy right now. I really don't. And if it admits that it's his AI deep faking, I'll make an apology video 100%. I will admit that right now. But this seems to be true so far. Anyways, here goes the context of where she lived. For context, this is still the same day as the first conversation. Only moved to Discord and a few hours apart since I'm in EU and he's in US side. So D started out innocently enough with him inquiring about fun things to do where I live, such as aquariums, the conventions, TwitchCon, EU specifically. I like to point out what I said we can go on a date to make her Valentine's. He not once expressed to me any discomfort or that he wasn't single. So she's vying for consent and looking for any discomfort to see if she's pushing too far, but he's obviously accepting the advances, and that's what's going on there. Now, I will say this, she did approach first, but she didn't know that he had a girlfriend. It's not very public information that they are together. It's very hidden information. Not much of his main life is known when it comes to him having a girlfriend. This will be discovered later. So they're talking about this artist in Amsterdam. Basically, that's what's going on there. Following her private Instagram. He would also follow my private Instagram that is only available to my IRL friends and family while using his official Sykkuno account. I will admit, if this is a whole deepfake situation, this is a lot of effort. A crazy amount of effort for this. It's just an insane amount of effort. But if you go to the Instagram, you can literally just check. You can check who he's following. Now later in the thing, he does follow another girl, and you can check hers, and she is being followed by Sykkuno. That is a thing you can just verify. Then making plans to meet in person. In this 2-hour Discord gaming call, the same day as our first conversation, Sykkuno made plans to meet me IRL. It was set to be the same weekend as Dokomi 2026, since he was flying over to attend Twitch EU. Going to the aquarium will be our first date. I also learned there is a 15-year age gap between us. So maybe she didn't know his age. Maybe she didn't know his age. That made things. She may have not known his age. I'm so bad at Outlast. LOL, was fun hanging out though. I will find the best of reels to send. So that's the whole thing there. No, hun, you did great. I have friends. Bada bada bing. I expected less of you. Making plans to move in together. With Sykkuno, our relationship moved so incredibly fast, it almost felt like a dream. This is basically flirting. The relationship was basically just flirting for the most part. They never confirmed they were in a relationship. So that language is, I'm harping on language specifically, but that's not really important because he's basically love bombing her. It was like he could make anything I wanted to happen, and as someone as prolific and successful as him, I had no reason to doubt anything he said to me. These screenshots show Sykkuno and I were attending to adopt a cat and have me possibly move into his house. I told him we couldn't get a cat yet due to me not being a U.S. citizen and possibly having visa issues. Keep in mind, this conversation happened 2 days after the first conversation, which is about the speed of the internet. That's about the speed of most relationships, to be quite honest with you. We should move in together. Very, very lesbian move-in era of moving in essentially is what we're looking at here. How fast? Oh, the lesbians move in 2 days. U-Haul lesbian. That's what I'm looking for. Very U-Haul lesbian energy there. That's what I was looking for. Oh, I get that. I'm allergic to grass. Not as bad, but I can become dizzy from it. It's like the only energy I have. But if we're gonna visit, like, we don't have to always go out, you know, as long as you're comfy. Also, aren't pets bad for your condition? I don't know how sensitive it is, but hairs can get worse. Certain ones can be. It depends on my dog is fine. He's not very allergenic. Well, my family dog that I don't get to see as often anymore, sadly. Also, like hyperallergenic pets are fine. Yeah, and even some that aren't listed as well, though. So we're talking about his allergies. They're having a conversation about it. This is basically them having a whole conversation about the entire thing, about them moving in together. That's basically what she specified. That's what's happening there. We had known each other for barely a few days, and this 34-year-old man was already expressing interest in moving together in the same house. This is very important. This is true. This whole thing it's just an insane sentence overall. It's crazy. Then lying about being single and dating history. In this screenshot, Sykkuno said he only ever had one relationship in his entire life. I would eventually find out that was a lie. He had been dating and living in the same house as his girlfriend for years, and that I was not the only girl on the internet that he spoke to on a daily basis. This is true. Everything here is true. He admitted to this in this call right here. He admitted to literally all this. So I just want to point this out. Him admitting to it is, he just admitted to everything. That's what he did. But as they say, could be AI deepfake, could be a fake call. You never know. Somebody maxed his cadence perfectly and all this stuff. Maybe somebody did that. So we'll say allegedly for now. I don't want to get hit for defamation, so we'll say allegedly for now, despite the fact that we have a Discord call admitting everything right there. So we're going to go with that. Did you like not anything for your ex at all? I mean, I think I did. I don't think she died, did. So that's the whole thing. So then we have sexting. And I'm not going to get into this decently, but he did that over the phone primarily, not to leave a paper trail. We talked about this already. That's the whole thing there. You do too. Yeah, like the audio recording I sent you. Oh my god, you sounded really cute in that too, doing his little thing right there. Now, he also texts like this realistically regularly. This has been shown that he does text like this. I believe, was it Valkyrie and Pokimane also admitted he does text like this. Not flirting with them, but this is his texting style. I want to point that out. I don't want people to misconstrue my words here. So he's still admitting and doing that stuff. Basically what she said right there. The bar is low. Going back to sleep now. Hope you have a good rest and that you're feeling better. Him using this emoji a lot of the time. You don't have to send me what the heck, but I hope you feel good. He's just flirting with the younger girl. Sugar daddy. Now this is sugar daddy allegations. Now, people are harping on this by saying, oh, it's not that much money. This is a lot of money. $200 to a 19-year-old is crazy. Less than a month later, Sykkuno randomly asked for my PayPal and his DMs. He then wastes no time in sending me money unprompted, something that I later realized was simply a behavioral pattern that he employed with women he'd expressed interest in. I want to reiterate that I have never asked him for money, and he did this from his own volition. He bought me a gym jacket, link below, and Resident Evil 9 because I expressed interest in the game. So that's flirting. That's flirting. He's monetarily flirting because he has a lot of money to waste. When you're that big, when money becomes secondary to you, it's simply easier to do so. So that's the whole thing. And you started to sleep either. I fell asleep, woke up again because I'm having trouble dreaming. Well again, and what's your PayPal so I can buy you games later? Straight to the point. Jesus, I need to update my email to my PayPal, blah, 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 bada bing. That's the whole thing there. So Sykkuno, this is what she looks like. She's hiding out her face. She looks very fit. And then Sykkuno expressed no disinterest in what she looks like, so he obviously found her attractive upon seeing her face. A calculated pattern of love bombing and manipulation. After speaking to Elphelia, cool name by the way, Elphelia, cool name. A few days ago, we were able to corroborate our experiences with Sykkuno and Linda. We were both victims of his. We had no idea that he was talking to both of us at the same exact time. Now, I want to point this out. A lot of people are going to harp on the word victim. These women are indeed victims of somebody that is at a higher plateau, and he is using his power and authority to talk to these women. He is at a much higher plateau in life. If Markiplier talked to me, I don't want to dog Markiplier here in any capacity. If any big content creator talked to me, I would immediately fold in 6 seconds because they have such a higher presence than me. I would see that as a crazy opportunity because they have such a big number. Having such a big number and somebody being so young and impressionable and saying they're idol, that's crazy. That's nuts. So that's the whole thing. Sykkuno is known to send hundreds of dollars to girls he wants to get involved. This screenshot is from when he took my friend Elphelia to Paris during the 2025 TFT tournament, along with sending her 500 euros to help her move to her new apartment. You can clearly see that this was sent from his business emails, PayPal's, bada bing, bada boom. We can see Sykkuno, 500 to help you with the move, 400, 300, 24.99. You can see that right there. Paying for another girl to fly out to him. Here are the DMs in which we can see that he offered to pay for her flight. So this is Elphelia. He ended up trying to pay for her. You see that right there. That's basically what this is describing. Thankfully, she put it right here. If you want to read the DMs, they're in the top comment. Just wanted to point that out. Trying to talk fast to get through this. I'm boarding now. See you soon. See you soon. You have the hotel info, right? So yeah, Elphelia experience. Elphelia would talk to Sykkuno on and off for the span of 5 days. During that time, she had absolutely no idea that he had a girlfriend. In the 5 years she had known him, and on and off flirted with him. Every time she would bring up the topic of his love life, he would give the response of playing too many games and not going out enough to meet women to date. So that's what it is right there. Also, I have a question for you. Why are you singing like hell? Huh? This is a crazy question. LOL. You kind of singing things like playing too many video games. Why crazy? Some calculated behavior and patterns using his nerdy Game Boy Fat K to lure women into a false narrative. You're cute. You're this sweet to all girls, or am I just lucky? What? Only the ones I think are cool. So I want to point this out as well. And we can see here that started following Sykkuno. You can check her actual account to see that he did start following her. You can check the account. You can check the whole account, whole thing. You see it there. To anybody saying this might not be manipulative, this is textbook manipulation by a wide factor of margins. Let's say you don't care about the cheating or the lying. He's still talking to two people. He's talking to two people at the same exact time and sending them money and doing all this stuff. And if you think he can be polyamorous, that's fine, but he's not veining for polyamory. He's trying to have exclusive relationships or exclusive talkings and flirtings with these specific women, having relationships with all these girls at the same exact time. That's what he's doing. Here's proof that Sykkuno was in Paris for the TFT events around that time too, directly from his Twitter. So this is proof that he was actually at the events. This is the whole thing. Team Fight Tactics. He was there with Disguised Toast and Emily Wang. He was there with all the other people from, I believe, it was Offline TV. That's the entire thing there. Alien Wicked. Oh my god, I was playing well. Saw this player reminded me of you. Oh, you got reminded me. That's cute. Of course, I was gonna ask, were you planning on going to like off Kai or anything like that? I wish my force I can't. Marin's not answering button. I'm living fully off my savings, so I canceled all my travelings for this year. To add even more salt to the wound, after Elphelia Paris trip, and 2 weeks after he had started talking to me, saying things like how he wants to move in with me and such, he would message Ophelia asking her if she'll be at off Kai. This is proof he'd be talking to more than one woman at the same time, planning to hook up for every event he went to. He was doing this while giving me the impression that he wanted something long term, and all while having a girlfriend since 2021. Now, want to point this out. He's a player. We got that. We grasp it, right? Talking to multiple women, all this stuff. He's a player. He wants to get everybody at once. He feels like he can. I feel like if he was honest with these women, I feel like it'd be better. There are a lot of girls that would much be happy to even talk to someone like Sykkuno. I feel like he doesn't have to lie. I feel like he should pivot into this being his personality, where he is a cute anime boy player. He wants to be a harem anime protagonist so bad. Ophelia and I weren't friends until I found out he was cheating on his girlfriend. This is when we both got in contact with each other and shared our stories. She deserves the world. So, oh my god, my friend just asked she's going to be like a VTuber anime convention in Germany after. Oh, I heard about that. I'll be there from Thursday and Monday. I fell asleep, no worries. Morning, how was your day? Awful. Spent the whole day crying. Excuse me. And why do some men cheat? I'll never understand. Ironic. That's funny. Rumors and broken friendships. So this is basically just rumors about how things will go on about this whole thing. I'll read this for you because I know you don't want to read it yourself. As I mentioned in the intro, no one made a public statement before because they never had sufficient evidence. Sykkuno would always talk about the most explicit and sensitive topics on calls or in person, never leaving a paper trail. That was all intentional. Rumors still managed to spread. Many content creators, both big and small, would vent to their friends about his behavior. Behind the scenes, for many, he'd be known as a predator who regularly took advantage of smaller and vulnerable content creators. The reason why Sykkuno would abruptly stop hanging out with certain people throughout the years is because of his predator behavior. However, he managed to keep enough influential friends around him to legitimize his position in the space, especially saying that many of those friends were women who would have normally stood in solidarity with any sort of victim, making it seem like he was safe enough to trust because they trusted him enough to be a friend. As Elphelia spoke with Sykkuno, she tell him about rumors that she had heard from someone else about how Sykkuno had a roster of readily available women and how they all coincidentally were small content creators who wouldn't dare touch him if something went wrong. Ophelia, of course, didn't believe this after all. Sykkuno had a calculated pattern that worked perfectly in his favor. His innocent, naive demeanor wouldn't dare her to fly, so why would he hurt me? And this is the halo effect in full effect, where someone looks good so you think they are a good person. Just the halo effect in full effect. You can just see that over there. I don't know, he said he dislikes you. This is proof of the entire thing, someone disliking Sykkuno, so that's the whole thing. And Ophelia is saying, I would defend you because I know that if you need receipts, I know you're a good person. He's jealous of you, all this jazz. That's what this whole thing. And then we figured out about Sykkuno's girlfriend. This is probably the most important part about Sykkuno's girlfriend. The coincidence that would lead me to finding out the truth of Sykkuno happened last week. A popular male VTuber tried to slide my DMs to presumably get in my pants, and when I rejected him, he immediately started to mention nasty rumors about Bao. Out of concerns for her, I reached out to a mod who then connected me to Bao. The three of us struck up conversation. When I mentioned I was nervous about a date I was going on, they asked me who it was. Regular conversation. When I said I had a date with Sykkuno, they immediately told me not to go on the date for my own personal safety. Bao told me that at the end of March, Sykkuno's girlfriend reached out to her regarding a controversial Bao tweet made last year. She asked Bao if it was true and that the tweet was about Sykkuno. They called and Bao explained to her that the other woman had confided in her about similar experience to him. She described a pattern of behavior where he targeted small female content creators and pressured them into having intercourse with him. Bao then offered to connect her with these other victims so they would share their experiences with her directly, as she felt it was important to hear them firsthand. This was all discussed during a Discord call. So this is the tweet if you're curious right here. If you're an up-and-coming female content creator with a small but growing audience, a much larger successful male content creator approaches you out of nowhere and showers you with attention and stream DMs, don't walk, run. Anything to do as possible. This was about Sykkuno. This was about Sykkuno. This was about Sykkuno. So that's the whole thing there. That's the entirety there. Hi, Bao. I'm sorry to bother you with this, but I heard something recently that was a bit concerning, and I had thought I would just come and ask you about it. I heard there was possibility of an instance of Sykkuno trying to get VTuber girls up to his hotel room to drink with them, and that the tweet you made about being cautious of large male soundtrackers showering you with gifts and shows about him, in regards to him doing it to one of your friends. Bao told me that 3 days before I contacted her and her mod, Sykkuno and his girlfriend were trying to reconcile after Sykkuno somehow managed to convince her that it was all a huge misunderstanding. She had no clue that I, as well as many other girls, still existed in Sykkuno's romantic and provocative life. So, Bao and her mod would put me in a group chat with Sykkuno's girlfriend where I would share all the screenshots you see above. She was rightfully horrified and left the group chat because she couldn't stomach reading them. I've lived with him for over 2 years. We have been together since 2021. Everything he's planning with you are things we planned together and talked about and have done. I'm sorry. Okay. I feel sad for her. I feel very bad for this woman who is living with this man who and probably can't even do much, to be quite honest with you. Probably can't even do much because Sykkuno might be the financial benefactor in this situation. Sometimes you can't leave even if the guy sucks. To all of Sykkuno's victims, ever since Sykkuno's viral breakout during the pandemic, their lockdowns when he played Among Us, he was always carefully curated every aspect of his behavior on stream with his friends. An innocent, romantically inexperienced boy failure who looks like an anime character and sounds like one too. This is so real. He just wants to be a harem protagonist. This is really what it is. He just wants to be a harem protagonist. And I gotta respect wanting to be a harem protagonist. You watch all those isekais, you think, I could do it too. And the worst thing is that he's so attractive too. That's the worst part. I just want to point out that attractive people can be bad people too. Can we agree to that, please? They can be. This perfectly curated image would attract a large audience of women, with a lot of them openly professing how attracted they are to him. He soaked in the praise and never sought to limit the most extreme aspects of the community because it made him more desirable. He understood this and would use his curated image as well as his legitimately in the content creator space, thanks to his followers and his fans friends, to seek out any attractive cosplayers and or content creators that were small enough to be starstruck by his grand presence. It would work most of the time, as he'd use the same calculated pattern that he used with me and Ophelia to lure them in and eventually fly them out to the next convention event that he went to with the goal of hooking up. Now I want to point this out. This is very important, and it may view me in a different light, but I don't care. There are women that have approached me. I'm in a happily married relationship, by the way. There are women that have approached me and have talked to me simply because I am a huge content creator to them. I have a big TikTok, 500,000, all this stuff. Now, I have never reciprocated any advances from these people because I am literally happily married. Check everywhere. I always admit that I'm married. I do videos with my wife, who also has a big content thing. She has a big thing. I want to point out, I want to show my wife, by the way. I just want to show how beautiful she is. I just want to show how beautiful my wife is. I would take any opportunity to talk to my wife. This is her. This is her. This is her. This is her right here. He's a milkman. I know what you're going to say. I know what you are. I know you're going to say something about that variety. But she cosplays with me. This is her and Robin. Robin cosplay. You can't see a Robin cosplay. But she cosplays with me. She does stuff. This is me in a video. People thinking we broke up. Whole thing there. It's a whole thing. This is us. We're together. I'm 29 and she's 26. That's the reality of it. She has 300,000 followers on TikTok. I always talk about my wife on stream, whatever it may be. She's on stream with me. This is important because if you are a bigger content creator, it is your responsibility to reject the advances of these people. It's very important. It's very, very important to do so because you're bigger. They're going to be starstruck. They just want to be close to somebody they look up to. That's the entirety of it. What these many women didn't know is that he'd always lie about the fact that he's single. That behind the scenes, he had a neglected and depressed girlfriend that he'd been with since 2021, who has lived with him since 2024 in the same house. I implore the many other victims to come out about their experience with his predator, and I end this document with a recording of Sykkuno in which he admits everything, especially how he cheated on his girlfriend and friend, and he was intending to do so with me as well. For context, this was shortly after I had messaged his girlfriend about his cheating. 30 minutes later, he would ask if I was free for a call. As his girlfriend was crying downstairs, he somehow chose to prioritize someone he barely met 2 months ago. I also pointed that out during the call. Here's the link. It's the last thing I said to him. I'm beyond disappointed in you is the last thing. So that's the whole thing. Not ominous, just the truth. So, but if you're not interested, that's fine too. I'll give you the short version if you can't call. So here's the link. This is the whole thing. And this is the call. You're going to watch the call. I don't want to get copyright strike by this person. I know it's unlisted right now. So I don't know why they have it unlisted. It must be for a specific reason. But in this call, this very 17-minute call, he admits to everything. And the link to this call and the Google Doc will be in the top comment. And the link is also in the thing. So I imagine a link is public for everybody to see. So that's the whole thing there. Reason it's unlisted, I'm not quite sure, but I imagine it's so people can actually see this. And it shows she's not doing this for monetary gain. I imagine that's why she's doing it. So now let me give my thoughts about the situation. So specifically for you, Sykkuno, I want to talk to you if you ever see this video. I'm probably going to be the first one to get this video out, so I want to speak to you directly about this. If you want to talk about this on stream or you want to have a conversation about this, my Discord is open. Discord is in the description if you want to talk to me about this. If you want to have your side out there with somebody that will actually talk to you and be unbiased, if you want to have a fair and honest conversation about this, you are more than welcome to talk to me about this. Now, I'm reaching out to you specifically, not to get my own numbers up, not to that, because I want to speak to you and see if you are a manipulator. I want to see if you'll admit it to everybody. And if you just admit to it, that's the first path to growth. I just want you to talk about it. Now, this is all fake, and this is AI, and this is deepfake, and they doctored all these documents and did all this work to take down a big content creator for their own personal gain and reasons. Then, by all means, admit that. Prove it. Show that you don't have any DMs or something of that variety. If all these people are going against you, I'd be curious to see that. I've had people try to target and attack me, and I've had to prove and validate myself as well, but I admit to the bad things that I do. I just want you to admit to those things. My thoughts about this is that you believe you are a harem protagonist and that you and your cute anime boy aesthetic are going a little bit crazy. So I would like to see what it is you would like to do about this. Now, here's what I'm going to do. This is very important. This is for you, Sykkuno. These are my thoughts about the situation. What I'm going to do for you, buddy, is I am going to actively go to this right here. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go to your YouTube. Right. I'm gonna go to Sykkuno right now. I am going to go to, oh, let's see, your latest video right here, your Among Us video. Now, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna mute my thing so I don't get copyright strikes. I'm gonna stop right here. Boom. I am going to right here, you're gonna see me do it live. I am going to send a message right now. If you want to talk about the Google Doc and your behavior, I am all ears. This is my reaching out to you. This is me reaching out. And I'm going to message you on Instagram. And I'm going to message you wherever I can. If you don't want to talk about it, just ignore me. Perfectly fine. But I'm always curious. It's purely my own curiosity. This is for me alone. I just want to know. Now, you guys can come to your own conclusions, whether you think that she was incorrect for being 19 and reaching out to a big content creator when she's young and impressionable. You're more than welcome to have your own opinions about the situation. I'm not here to tell you that you're incorrect for having your own opinions. Maybe you think she's an adult when she's 19. If you were an adult at 19, I'm proud of you. But please note that people have different experiences and different mindsets and the ways they work and how they operate. It is very strange for a 34-year-old grown man who has all this wealth and experience of knowledge to do these things. But if I'm incorrect, if I'm wrong, I will issue a full apology and I'll be 100% just humble and take the L on my end. But if I am incorrect, please reach out to me, Sykkuno, because I'd like to talk about this. This is very bad. This is very bad. Anyway, have a lovely day or night wherever you're at. I'm out. Peace. Bye.
I'm your Nick and Night, be my Laurel, happy to try what you need. Your world, I love to live in it. I love the ride.